Thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Ben. Hi, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here to share some thoughts and insights specific to adolescents with HIV prevention and long-acting methods. So, why are we talking about adolescence? And some people need to be reminded that HIV in adolescence is a public health concern. In 2022, 140,000 adolescents aged 10 to 19 years acquired HIV, and the numbers sadly are not very different from the recently released estimates from 2023. About 10% of all people globally acquiring HIV each year are aged between 10 and 19 years. So adolescent HIV is an issue of public concern and needs to be addressed. Interventions must be tailored specifically to the different nature and dynamic of the HIV epidemic across the different regions in the world. In 2022, of all adolescents acquiring HIV, 4 in 5 of those were girls. 2 in 3 lived in Eastern and Southern or Western Central Africa. And within that region, the highest number of people acquiring HIV were adolescent girls and young women aged 15 to 24 years, specifically living in Southern Africa. However, in East Asia and the Pacific, more boys acquire HIV each year than girls aged 10 to 19. So our interventions need to take this into account and be tailored specifically to the different populations in the different regions. I don't think this is news to those in the audience today, but it's important to remind ourselves of that. So, specifically to adolescents, long-acting projects could be well suited to their particular needs. A long-acting regimen is obviously simplified when compared to a daily regimen that often adolescents might have challenges with in terms of persisting with daily adherence. The infrequent frequency of dosing in long-acting regimens is specifically appreciated by our younger people, and they appreciate the increased privacy that a long-acting regimen offers. For injectable long-acting PrEP, that again is directly administered, so the administration is guaranteed. You're sure that that product has been taken. And the long-acting products carry the potential for multi-purpose prevention. I'm especially encouraged to see the developments. Can we be protecting against other STIs as well as HIV and pregnancy? So adolescent lives matter. We need to pay attention to this population. On the research side, the involvement of adolescents supported the product licensure in that age group. We aimed for simultaneous licensure in adults and adolescents. And the research groups that were working with the first long-acting products that came out were able to pretty much accomplish that. For the long-acting dapivirine vaginal ring and the long-acting injectable cabotegravir that you heard about in the previous presentations. When we conducted those trials, we found that there were no age-specific concerns or requirements in terms of safety and dosing. So we are able to use these products in the younger age group, and it is safe to do so without dose modification. But that's not the only aspects of research that we study. And for the adolescent populations, it was vital to look at the feasibility, the acceptability, and the tolerance. So in the HPTN 08401 trial, which looked at those aspects in the long-acting injectable cabotegravir, that product was found to be tolerated very well by the young people, No injections were discontinued due to intolerance, and more than 98% of those doses were administered exactly on time. So that was a tremendous success for this product. The adolescents were also very clearly able to articulate exactly what they appreciated about the long-acting product. They were able to tell us why they liked using it, as well as to bring forward any concerns they had. We were worried that they might not tolerate the injections. We were always told about needle phobia and fear, and that was always a consideration, that would this deter them from coming forward for a long-acting injectable product? Well, that didn't turn out to be the case, and almost all of them opted to continue receiving the long-acting injectable cabotegravir PrEP at the end of this trial in the open-label extension product. So that was for the cabotegravir injection. For the dapivirine vaginal ring, a different study was done, and these adolescents were able to experience using the ring and then the daily oral PrEP, or had been randomized to start with daily oral and then move on to the vaginal ring. So they had direct experience of both methods and then were given a choice. And they were able to make that choice and select the method that they found better suited to their specific individual needs. And during the choice period, 67% of those adolescents chose the long-acting method, which in that trial happened to be the ring. So the similar outcomes are anticipated for the newer long-acting technologies, and I'm sure you're all awaiting tomorrow's presentation about the lenacapavir results. And to note, for that trial, phase 3 trial, they were able to engage and involve adolescents right away at the same time as the adults were enrolled. So look out for that tomorrow. However, product licensure does not equal access. And when it comes to adolescence, I think we're all very aware that we have to work very hard. There's a lot more we need to do to address the stigma around adolescent sexuality and disclosure to parents, as well as overcoming medical mistrust and ensuring that young people have access to high-quality, respectful health services. And without that, the long-acting products in the clinic will not reach the people who need them. Also, having options, having different products in the clinic does not equal choice, because the ability for an individual to select from an array of products require those products to be available, but also accessible and affordable. Having more products in the clinic actually adds complexity to choice. And we're always told that adolescents require additional support in navigating decisions. And this is what we find with the young people that we've enrolled in our trial. However, they are able to demonstrate agency when given the information that they need and want, presented to them in a way they are able to relate to, and in an environment where they feel comfortable to come forward with the myriad of questions and issues that they want to tell you about. So once that has been taken care of, they are able to make a choice. When parents are engaged in our experience, they have been very supportive of their child's use of these products. And we're learning more about how to engage communities, how to prepare them for the long-acting methods in adolescence. There are a number of groups working on this aspect of decisional support, and that might be specifically helpful to support adolescents navigate this choice of multiple options that are available in the clinic, and in the female population, we also need to consider the contraception choice, which often goes together in those that choose to contracept. One example of a decisional support tool is the MyPrep tool that has been piloted in South Africa and is being expanded to other groups. So, in short, adolescents need a tailored health service in order for them to benefit truly from long-acting prevention technologies. That health service needs to be accessible, integrated, status neutral, and non-judgmental in order to protect them against HIV and other sexual reproductive health matters. Adolescents are unique, but they are able to come forward and tell you what they want and need when the environment and the health providers are able to make them feel safe and give them the information they need in a way they can relate to. So I'd like to close by, first off, acknowledging all the courageous adolescents and their families who've participated in these research trials that you've heard about, as well as all the research groups and the others, the teams that are involved in coming up with this work. Thank you.